Good afternoon.
Hey.
I'm Allison Cave.
Hey, Miss Kate.
And you are?
Teresa Bishop.
Okay. And we are here today to talk about your life and some things that you've been through and just your development. So, do you want to start out just telling me a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yes, I am. I'm 53 years old. I'm not from Hart County. We moved here 6 years ago. I'm from Madison County. I've been married for 32 years. I have two grown children. Justin is 30, and then Jonah is 28. I have two grandbabies. I have a daughter-in-law, and let me see, what else?
Growing up, what was it like? Your childhood like?
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, everybody says, if they grew up in a really good home or a really hard home, and I tell everybody I grew up in like Jerry Springerville. I grew up in a wild home, a rough home. My mom was alcoholic, and my daddy worked all the time, and just couldn't get ahead of the game. And we struggled. We grew up poor. I grew up in we lived in a trailer my whole life, and no air conditioning, no car, just lots of things that I think helped mold me into who I am today, and helped me become who I am today, and just what I didn't want in a marriage, and help me pick a better partner and try to do better for myself. I'm the first one in my family that's ever graduated high school.
That's great.
I'm the first one that's ever graduated college.
Wow.
I'm the only one that's been married to the same person for 32 years, and I just think that growing up that way, I just realized that things I didn't want for myself or my kids to be around, and I pushed really hard for it, and I did it. And I have 4 college degrees, and I've been a surgical tech, and I was just a classroom teacher, and then a counselor, and now I have my leadership degree, and I'm a work-based learning coordinator, and we bought our second house 7 years ago in Hartwell, and now we're fixing to build our third house. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
So how do you think your children's childhood was different than your own? You said that you tried to make theirs better.
It was way different. So, like I said, my mom was alcoholic, so I grew up in lots of fighting, yelling, cussing, no money, and my mom didn't work. My daddy worked all the time, so he was gone a lot. When he would come home, it was just lots of anger. And then when I got married, I just knew that I did not want to be married like that. So me and my husband, we got saved, we got baptized, we, had our kids in church, raised our kids in church, tried to have a Christian family, and just didn't want to fight in front of them, no yelling, cussing. I mean, we're not perfect. We didn't pass the test every time. Our kids have heard us fussing before, but nothing like that. I grew up in an abusive home, so my husband has always respected me and treated me like a queen, and they saw their daddy treat me like that, and that's what I wanted for them. Happy, I was never allowed to have company. No kids could spend the night at our house, and so I wanted my boys to always have company. All the kids always come to our house. And working in the school system, their parents knew me, so it was never an issue. We went on vacations, we camped. I never went on vacation as a child. And I let them have fun. I let them be kids, They got to drink milkshakes, eat popcorn, have candy, stuff like that, just laugh and sleep late and get in the bed with us. And, I felt like that they had a good childhood. And, there were parts of my childhood that were great, but it was hard. It was just hard. Yeah. And I didn't want that for them.
Okay, so you've transitioned into another part of your life now, being a grandmother, and how old did you say you were?
53.
53. Okay, so let's talk about some developmental milestones or changes that have occurred.
So I'm in full-blown menopause.
Okay.
It's wonderful. Not. It's hard. Everything changes. you know, my hair falls out. I don't have any energy. My bones hurt. Where I used to could get up and go to the gym and, you know, work out, and I don't feel like doing that now. And
So a lot of health challenges.
yes,
I feel like.
and you have to fight it, and you have to push through it. You know, I take prenatal vitamins and magnesium and vitamin D. My vitamin D is horrible, the doctor says, so I have to take vitamin D and magnesium and calcium. I just feel like, you know, I bruise really easy. I'm tired. I try to walk a lot, but, you know, the hair is the worst thing. Kind of like when you were pregnant and your hair falls out. It's that kind of thing. And so I'm doing some vitamins for my hair and just very tired. And I used to could, you know, when I first started keeping the grandbabies, I could get up off of the floor, Holden River, and not even just put my arms down. Now I have to get on my knees and stay there for a second, and then get up and stay there for a second before I can even get up. I mean, it's just different.
Do you feel like your husband's kind of going through the same thing with you, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He says all the time. He says, "I wish I'd have took better care of myself. If I'd known now what I know, you know, knew then he would have took better care of himself." And I feel like I probably would have, you know, tried to do better with my health. I feel like I'm healthy as I've been in a long time. But there's times I just don't feel good. And I can't, you know, I can't do things I used to could do.
Well, that's good that y'all have each other to go through it together. What about mental challenges?
Well, with menopause, you forget everything. You know, your emotions are a roller coaster. Some days I'm happy, some days I'm sad. I cry at just silly commercials that, you know, make me miss my daddy and my mom. And, you know, I'll see a truck going down the road. My daddy's middle name was STs. And I'll see those trucks going down the road. And I mean, I'll just bust out crying. I don't even know what for. But I say it's menopause. Everything that goes on in my life, we blame that. My doctor will say, yeah, you know, my doctor will say, "Oh, Teresa, you're not going through menopause." My hairdresser will say, "Oh, your hair is like that because you're going through menopause." You know, my dentist, I just had my teeth cleaned. They're like, "Oh, your teeth is like that because you're going through menopause." So just take care of yourself. Be sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do because, yeah, when you hit 53 or whenever your body goes through the change, it's like,
it sneaks up fast.
Yes. And I feel like I'm hitting it early because I had to have a hysterectomy when I was 32. So my doctor says I'm going through menopause a little earlier, but I take hormones, and I think that contributes to a lot too.
Yeah. So have you had any stressors or barriers that you've experienced during this stage?
Well, we're trying to move. That's always, you know, a stressor. And I keep my grandkids a lot, and they recently were living with us. That's a stressor. That is a stressor. In your house for 2 years. Finally, we said somebody's got to move. Who's it going to be? So now we're renting and we're trying to build. That's going to be a huge stressor. I've never built a house with Jared before, and like I said, we've been married 32 years, and this might be the kicker.
Oh no!
If we survive this, but you know, everybody says building a house is hard. We've always just bought houses, so we'll see. I don't know.
You'll be fine.
A new job. You know, I've only did work-based learning for 1 year, so that was really hard to learn that job and never teach high school before because I've always been elementary. So I think I've brought some stressors in that on my own. But yeah.
Yeah. And that might be the next thing we're going to talk about, environmental factors that have maybe affected this development leading up to this. I guess we've kind of talked about that already.
Like with them moving in with me, yeah, that has been really hard because he's my son and she's not my daughter. So, you know, when your daughter moves in, that's probably a whole different thing. But having a daughter-in-law in the house with kids, that's been, you know, really hard.
Yeah.
She's awesome though, and we've gotten really close, but
it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And then we sold our house to them. So when we owned the house and they lived with us, it was totally different. But now they own the house, and so we found some place to rent because it's not my house.
It's not your house
and
anymore.
It's not mine, and it's not like I can say what goes on in there. So yeah, we're renting, and I feel like I'm a whole lot healthier. I'm getting more sleep, and I'm not with them 24/7.
Well, that's a positive.
Yeah, that's a huge positive.
Yeah. Yeah, makes the other stuff easier.
And summer break is always good for teachers. So, yeah, just getting revived.
Revive and ready to go back again. Can you tell me about a time in your life where you showed resilience? And that could be in any stage of development, not just the one that you're currently in, but
Well, maybe I probably could say when my daddy had melanoma. He had to move in with us. And that was really hard, just seeing that every single day in your house, and you're not being able to get away from that or get a break from that or breathe,
yeah,
or be around somebody that's sick all the time and somebody that you love and having to take care of them. And I feel like, I always had to be strong and always be happy because, he knew he was facing death. He'd already been told that he only had a certain amount of time to live. And so just trying to, keep my boys happy and not let them know that,
you still got to be a mom.
yes, and work a full-time job and then come home to, to taking care of him. And I feel like that, I had to show resilience in that and not let my whole life fall apart because we had to keep trucking and keep moving on. I think changing jobs, I showed resilience in that too because I didn't know anybody at the job. And, coming in, it's like moving to a foreign country because you learn all new people, all new job, and you don't really, all the students, and you don't really even know what you're doing. But you can't let the students see that in you, you've got to act like, I know what's going on, I've got this, I'm pushing through, it's going to be fine. And, you make friends and people take you in and build you up, but still you got to show resilience and all that.
Yep. So do you have any tips or strategies for somebody that might be going through something like that or even going through menopause?
Going through menopause, all I can say about menopause is it's temporary. We're going to get there. I see the end in sight, and just don't go under the wave. Stay above the wave. Take your vitamins, get your rest, sleep. Sleep is huge. Drink your water. Be around people that make you happy and don't bring you down. Eat right. Visit the doctor, and do your mammograms. Stay on top of your health. Try not to get sick, and that's the way to stay on top of menopause. I feel like.
Yeah. And what do you think your next stage is going to be?
I don't know. I'm hoping
How many more years until you can retire?
6.
So
6
that'll
more
be
years. Because I was doing contract work, so none of those years counted. So now last year counted, and now I need 6 more full years to retire.
And how do you envision that?
I don't know. Yeah, I got my leadership degree, so I'm hoping like maybe my last couple of years, I'll go into a leadership position. I love what I'm doing right now, so I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to be in leadership right now. I just want to, keep doing what I'm doing. I finally feel good about this job. But probably, I'll need to retire in one of those positions.
Yeah.
So, probably 2 or 3 more years in this job, and then try to look for, apply for the leadership positions to get ready to retire. Hopefully have our house built. Hopefully not have a huge mortgage because we want to try to build it as we go, and then just get ready for retirement. My husband's going to probably retire before me. And then just enjoy those grandbabies and go to their ball games, and maybe my other son will be settling down and getting married by then and having more grandbabies. So hoping I'm gonna start slowing down a little bit.
Well, I think you had a lot of good tips for somebody that might be entering into that stage of life. And